Welcome back to World of Tanks, everybody. Another look at a 9.0 map update. This one is to Severogorsk, and it's probably the last major map change. There's a few others listed in the patch notes, but from what I've seen, the changes aren't particularly significant. So before we get into it, just want to say a big thank you to Pointy Head Jedi for joining me on this little expedition to look at the various maps. If you want to check out his YouTube channel where he produces fantastic World of Tanks content, you can check out the link in the description. So first thing you may notice is the spawn location and the bases have changed. Rather than spawning all the way, let me just bring the map up. Instead of spawning all the way over here and having the base all the way over there, now it's a lot more centralized. Same for this one. Instead of spawning over here and the base being over there, it's now a lot more centralized. So we're going to go and take a look at the major changes. There's a lot to get through on this map. As you are about to see, there have been some big changes to Severogorsk. And this is all just in the aid of apparently trying to stop camping and make the games a lot more dynamic and a lot more fluid. Wargaming's idea of making games more fluid and dynamic is apparently just to make them all flatter. As you may have noticed, there is no massive hill on this left hand side now. The hill is completely gone. But don't fret, although the hill may be completely gone, the cover is not. As we head all the way around here, this would normally be a massive climb up to the peak to try and do battle to each other, but as it is now, well, it looks like the building's still here that was here earlier. We'll just run that one down. So although the hill is gone, the cover is not. As you notice on the map, there is a big mess of rocks and everything around around this location here to do battle over, and we're going to go take a look at them now. So I love this little rock formation here, the little shelf, and what that's going to allow is for a heavily turret armoured vehicle that's pretty large to just get in here and try and fire through onto people. Unfortunately though, you are going to have that little gap there, so you are going to have a little bit of exposed front hull. But big little inlet here for people to fight around. I can see that being a prized spot and a prized position for people to try and fight over. So we've got a few little paths through here, one to the north. So we'll take the northern route all the way through this way and then loop back as if we'd spawned in the other base. But as you can see, this is just a lot more open. As we come through here, we've just got all of the land just arrayed out in front of us, and then the other team has a little inlet here. So you can see if they've got some tanks sort of fighting over this spot here, and you're able to control the northern passage here, and what that's going to allow you to do is it's going to allow you to take position here, and if there's no tanks there to stop you, then you can easily just pop around the corner there and just have a shot at somebody firing through that hole there. And then once you've won this location here, you can push on forward and head through this way. So there's still the little ridge here, but no giant hill. So if we spawned in the other side and we fancy taking a more southerly route, this is the way you'd come through. You can see there's big open plains here, so there's really not really going to be as much camping available as there was before. I just like running these little houses over for some reason. So just on the other side of this rock here is the little firing position that we looked at before. So that there. What you can also do is, I suppose you could actually, it's pretty good here, you could be hull down here and then fire through there on anybody trying to take that position. So that might work out to be a better tactic than approaching it all the way forwards. So if you take a southerly route here, you see you don't get access to that firing position, and you have to be careful from the left hand side there, as this is now open to the main town. Although you do have this rock here which defends you from the front, and if you can take to say this position here, then you've got defense from the left hand side, and then you can push forward through the rock formation. and then you'd have to spin all the way around here to get anybody who's up in the north. But again, the irregularities in the terrain are going to allow tanks with good gun depression to just totally win in this situation. So this one definitely favours fast tanks and tanks with good gun depression and good turret armour. As you can see, as we make it out here, we come out into the open plains, and then this leads on to the base area. So we're going to take a quick look at the centre. It looks to me, just at a tertiary glance, that the amount of buildings have been thinned out significantly. We've just got a little dip in the terrain here. We're going to head down the frozen, dried up riverbed here and see what we can see. But to me, it really, really looks like the buildings have been significantly thinned out. Oops, just having a little bit of a crash into this person's house here. So, I mean, you've still got buildings that you can use. You can still hide around these buildings here. And normally you'd hide behind these buildings and fire up on the hill. But now that there is no hill, you can maybe see a lot of people taking to the side. I think the problem, the major reason I can see for flattening out this hill on the left-hand side is because nobody really... Indestructible statue? Really? No. No, it's not. It's just his legs are left. So, the major problem I saw is nobody really went centre of the map unless they were either YOLOing or didn't really know the map, because anybody on the left-hand side could just fire down into the town and do significant amounts of damage to anybody silly enough to venture that way. But now, with it all being flattened out, there's no real position that you can take on that right-hand flank and just get easy access to fire at anybody over here. Looks like the riverbed has remained pretty much unchanged.
We've lost a track.
Just like to get some spinning air in the chaffee there. So yeah, the dried up riverbed looks like it's pretty much unchanged. So anybody who would like to take that route is still going to be able to take that route. And we're going to head all the way down to the southern base here, and then we're going to have a look at the left-hand flank, which I'm told hasn't really changed that much. So that should bring us nicely to the end of the video. So as you can see, the two bases are considerably more open to getting fired upon, so you can't do any kind of sneaky base captures. Not that you could really do it before, but definitely not now. So it looks like this hill on the left has actually been squashed as well, and given some new routes. Instead of just one path up, you've got two different routes you can take. You can take this main path here all the way around, as you can see, indicated by the road, or if you're feeling a little bit more adventurous and a little bit more dangerous, you can take this route here around the right hand side. But with the addition of all these rocks here, it again kind of negates the hill in that you can't fire down into the town. So I can see the middle of the map getting a lot more action than it would have before. Obviously you can take to this area here and possibly fire down, and maybe even fire right across into the other side of the map. As you can see, that there and that there is the very northern path, and that there that tanks would take. So if you can get to this position here quickly, I'm going to see if you can take a firing position behind this bush. No, I don't think you'll have the gun depression, but still, you can fire off one or two cheeky shots across to the other side of the battlefield, maybe wreak some havoc unexpectedly. So really, the hills, like I said, I think Wargaming just saw that all that was happening on this map was everybody was fighting on the left-hand flank and the right-hand flank, and nothing was really happening in the centre. So in order to, address that, they've totally taken out the hill on that right-hand side. And added the addition of these large rock walls on this side, just meaning that you can't fire down from this hill either. Now, you know, I was saying that this would make a great position to fire from. This is actually going to be the corridor that the two teams are going to fight over, so nobody's really going to have easy access to this little spot here for shooting It's really going to depend on who takes this location first. So that right-hand little piece of road just sweeps down into the enemy spawn area. And this one just does exactly the same, although it provides a little bit more cover. As you can see, you got this little lump of terrain here, and then again this just sweeps down and then across to the map there. So that looks like pretty much it for the major changes for Severogorsk. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy it and you found it informative and useful, then leave me a like or favorite. If you're not already, then definitely consider hitting that subscribe button. Sorry, just going to head over and see what Jedi is pointing at. It's an possible tank destroyer location over here. Ah, and that's probably true. Looks like you can probably see quite a lot of the map from this spot, although it's quite far from the spawn location, and I'm taking a retarded route up there. Blocked by all the trees. See if my little chaffy can make it. Oh, not quite. So I'd be surprised to see what tank destroyers could make it up that side. Probably just come all the way around the back here where the slope is a lot smoother. But yes, this would be a fantastic tank destroyer spot. As you can see, if you don't put too many tanks on that left-hand flank here, then this position here, you can see totally hidden, is going to be great. So, like I was saying, hope you enjoyed this video, found it useful and informative. If you did, leave me a like, favourite and a comment. If you're not already, then definitely consider hitting that subscribe button for a lot more content like this in the future. I've been Maxwell. This has been my first look at Severogorsk on the 9.0 update, and I will catch you guys next time.